Returning back to TigerBelly,
Yeah.
because you said Kalila basically started it. What's the origin story of TigerBelly?
When I met her,
Oh, by the way, for people listening, in case you somehow don't know what TigerBelly is, a podcast you do. It's an amazing podcast. You also do Bad Friends with Andrew Santino,
yeah.
so on.
Thank you so much for the plug. Appreciate it.
I don't know. It's context, not the plug. It's
Can I plug
context.
other things though? Since we're doing it?
Sure. Oh,
Yeah.
what's your?
I'm on a show called.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Thank you. So, what?
What's the name of the show you're on?
I'm on a couple.
A couple shows.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good for you. Netflix. It's
no.
Okay.
I'm on Sex in the City.
Sex in the City.
Yeah. I'm on Reservation Dogs. It's an FX show.
Wait, Sex in the City is not a joke?
No, I am actually on Sex in the City.
Wait, are they rebooting the show?
They did.
Okay.
It's called And Just Like That, Sex in the City.
Oh, and you're on it.
Yeah.
Is this not a joke?
You can Google it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Who do you play?
I play a podcaster on it. On the show, Sarah Jessica Parker's Carrie has a podcast, and I'm her podcast partner.
Oh, got it. Perfect. Beautiful.
But I'm also now my storyline. Anyway, it's fine.
Do you sleep with somebody on there?
I am married on the show. Yeah, they showed I'm married to a young lady on it. Yeah.
All right. It felt like it felt like it.
I know, because you don't think doing it. I look around going, "Are you sure I'm supposed to be on this?" You know what I mean? I do feel that, but lo and behold, I'm on it.
Yeah, you are.
So, I started this way. So, my friend David Cho, do you know him?
Mm-hmm.
He's an artist. He used to have a podcast, right, called DVD ASA, and he used to have me on it. And then Kalila started doing it, and then when DVD ASA ended, Kalila was just like, "Let's start our own," and I was like, "Nah, it's not going to work." So she goes, "Well, fine, I'm going to just do it on my own then." So she went and bought the equipment, and we were living in a condo at the time in Hollywood, and she would do them on her own.
Mm-hmm.
She did probably 3 on her own. And one day I was watching television. The door was open to the podcast room, and I turned around, and she was literally like this, dude. We had a table like this. She had the mic and all that stuff, and she was doing this. She was like slumped over like this. And I just kind of went, fuck it. So I walked in there. I go, all right, let's just do one.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
And the chemistry was there immediately.
Well, I already knew that she could do it because of DVDSA, right? So I already knew that she had the skill set. It's, it's just all about, even in this conversation that you and I had today, right? There are gaps of like, oh, what else should we talk about? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Or like, I don't know what direction, right? And it's all about the old improv rule, adding information. Even if you don't know what you're going to say, just fill the dead space with something. Like, so if right now, if we had we stopped talking about something, I'd be like when I asked you, did you grow up in Russia or Ukraine? Right? Was one of those dead spaces where I was just like, let's just throw it out there to see where this goes. Right? Mm-hmm. And she has that ability to fill that dead space with information. That's all you need. Right? And she gets it in that way. So it's like when we, started doing it at DVDSA, I just knew that she had the skill set. So when we started doing it for TigerBelly, it was a given. She can do it. I've had girlfriends that wouldn't be able to do it. What are you doing? You have the skill set. You're a sciencey guy. You spend all night long, and doing whatever you're fucking doing, right? But you have this innate ability to do it, right? And I think it's a talent. Do you think it's a talent? No, do you think you have talent? What are you doing? I know what you're doing, not adding information. I know what you're doing. That's a good bit. It's a good bit.
I kept doing it, and you kept filling the space. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, that is true, huh?
Because you're yes-anding yourself, which is great. The improv thing. That was really impressive.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Have you ever had a guest on that didn't add information, and then you had to keep doing it?
Yeah. But it's part of the magic, too. And sometimes I feel like they were actually giving me a gift of silence, and I was stepping on it. Like, for example, I had a conversation with Jocko, Jocko Willink. And every question I would ask him in the beginning, and I'm now better friends with him. It was the first time we met in that conversation. And I would ask him these long questions. I would mumble and meander and so on. And he would answer with yes or no. And that's it.
Yeah.
And then, but he'd do it in a strong, like Viking like way. And I kept trying to go full like Bobby Lee style of create chaos and just keep talking and so on, as opposed to I think he was inviting me more for the stoic type of silence, short sentences, that kind of conversation. So I fucked that up, I believe. But yeah, there's not the adding information part, but the adding chemistry part, where it's usually ego, where people don't realize there's a magic to be found between two humans, like genuine. It's like a first date, like that, to truly listen to each other and to do the yes and thing and have fun with it. When you have this energy, I'm way too important for this conversation. That the information might be there, but the chemistry is not. So you have to remember that a lot of the podcasts I've done are like technical.
Yeah.
And so you could still say a lot of stuff about like this project, or whether it's physics or robotics or biology. You could say informational stuff, but the excitement, the magic is not there. But I often blame myself because like if I'm excited, they'll be excited. I've learned this. So I'm learning I'm not allowed to have like a bored face, which my face is naturally looks bored. But on the inside, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So it might be a Russian thing. I don't know.
It's not. Can I tell you why you're not boring? Why? Your face?
Why?
Because you have crow's feet.
Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
Is that what the thing?
Yeah. And the reason why you have crow's feet is you smile a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're very expressive. I know white dudes. I don't trust white dudes.
Yeah.
Right? With no crow's feet. Right? Because that means they're not, you know what I mean, accessing that part of their, you know what I mean, face.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is why I hate when this is an LA thing, especially.
Yeah.
Women have talked to me about like Botox, and they hate the crow. They hate not on me, on themselves.
Oh.
And they hate because it's all wrinkles and stuff like that. And to me, it's like, no, that's where that's the magic.
That's the magic. It really is. Yeah.
So the interesting thing about TigerBelly is there's some weird like aesthetic to it. It's really unique. It's not just good; it's also unique. Like in the way that Wes Anderson films are unique, like Life Aquatic. I don't know if you know those films.
Yeah, I love those. I mean, those are my favorite films. Yeah.
What is that? What is that? It's not just the chemistry between you and Kalila. It's like, what is that? Can you put a finger on it, or is it just like?
Well, it's essentially who I am. That's what all my houses have looked like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I've always been a collector of designer toys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've always been a collector of kind of weird artwork. Yeah, I've always been like that. You know, I like weird wallpaper. Like I'll get, instead of like going to a wallpaper store, what I'll do is I'll get artwork that I like from an artist, like, and go get their approval and go to a place and make wallpaper out of their artwork. You know what I mean? You can, like, if I wanted a Lex Friedman, your face on my wall, I would ask for your permission, and I would probably put your face on a gigantic wall. Like I would do stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but
can you do that?
Yeah, I think
you have my permission.
You know, I think I will.
Yeah.
You know, I think I will just for the laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I would do it
big, please.
Yeah. But my point is that it's essentially who I am on the inside, I guess, in terms of like my, you know, I don't know, but I'm glad you said that, because I never even thought about that.
Yeah, you just
you just kind of do it like this, you know, because all your podcasts have this black ominous thing.
Yep.
You're wearing a black suit. You have a specific thing too. It's like,
but I don't really think, people ask me like, why do you wear a suit? I really don't. I just feel good in it.
Yeah.
It's just who I am.
And the reason why my podcast looks the way I do is because I feel comfortable in that environment. And it, you know, like you, I don't try to think too much about what I'm doing on Tiger Belly or even Bad Friends, right? Because when you start thinking about it and go, we should do this segment and I should, do it this way or this podcast does it this way. So what, no, I just show up, I keep my mind open, and I do the best I can. I add information like we talked about, and I just keep talking, right? And I try to be authentically myself. Like right now, I had this fear when I shit in your fucking bathroom, man,
Yeah.
because I was so
Out
scared.
of fear. You
Out of
shit out of
fear.
fear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like, I was like kind of nervous because this whole week I was anticipating coming
Yeah.
here. And I watched the Mark Normand one.
Yeah.
I watched the Giannis one to see, how tonally. And last night, my girlfriend just looked at me and just goes, just show up.
Yeah. Kalila knows who I am.
Dude, you think that, first of all, let me ask you something.
Yes.
You think I have the day? You know how busy I am to drive all the way over here to
Yeah.
West Hollywood
Yeah.
to do your fucking thing? Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Because we are well aware of who you are and we like you.
Thank you, man.
God, and we want you on ours.
I would love that. I would love that. I mean, that's the reason I'm doing this is just to get on your podcast.
You gotta get on it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's funny because I just mentioned to you offline. I got a chance to talk to Oliver Stone, and he asked me this thing, which is, how many listeners does this thing get? All that kind of stuff, and I don't even pay attention to that. So it's like I just don't.
A little bit though, you do? Don't?
I wrote extensions on my browsers where I don't see the number of views.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't pay
Did you know
attention.
that like some of your YouTube videos on interviews and stuff have over 1 million?
That I know. I know like loosely that like it bleeds through, but it's not part of my conscious thing I think about. I've just seen it destroy people's minds where they're no longer thinking creatively. They don't feel good if something they do doesn't get as much attention as they thought it should. It just can destroy you, even though it's good. It could be great stuff you create that everybody ignores, but it was still great. It is still great, and sort of letting that negatively affect your mind is I don't know. I've seen it destroy people, so I'm very nervous about that.
It's like that old saying, never live in the results. It's like if I podcast I'd like initially, honestly, when I did Tiger Belly, we made no money for the first couple of years.
Wow.
Like not enough to put a dent. I couldn't buy anything like, nice or anything. It was just side money. You know what I mean? I could buy some shoes once a month or whatever, right? And like I said before, my career was in the shitter, right? So Tiger Belly wasn't like, this is going to be the thing. You know what I mean? It was just something to do with my girlfriend creatively, and it just so happens that it did do all these things for me, right? Podcasting, but yeah, I never, and still today, I don't do it for any of those things. I do it because it's fun.